everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jared Wellers, and this is a sequel to a video I actually did back in 2022 called The History of Freeform. I'll put the link in the description and an iCard at the top. We're going to start back in time in the 90s. Ooh. Alright. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. Like the video, dislike the video, whatever you want to do there. Comment, what is your favorite CW show? Most people probably say Riverdale, but definitely comment below that. And as always, hit the subscribe button, man. I got a lot of stuff coming out, so please hit the subscribe button. And let's hop into the history of the CW. The WB was founded on November 2nd, 1993, and launched on January 11th, 1995. United Paramount Network was founded on October 27th, 1993, and launched January 16th of 1995. Yes, they were founded the same year and launched the same year. Even though Fox launched in '86, it didn't gain prominence until the '90s. I'm sure we'll discuss the Fox Broadcasting Company eventually, but for now, we're just going to leave that there. They are in the background gaining popularity. So, WB and UPN are both in competition with Fox. UPN is targeted at young men, while the WB is targeted at young women. Eventually, we'll also discuss UPN at a later date as well, but right now, this is just going to be about the WB. Now, I live in Traverse City in northern Lower Michigan. We had our own WB affiliate channel, WBVC, or Northern Michigan's WB61. The WB premiered with one of the best sitcoms of the 90s, The Wayans Bros. A sitcom from the funniest family, the Wayans family, was Sean and Marlon. The logo is the famous Warner Brothers shield with WB on it, and the mascot is, and this might be controversial, the best-known Warner Brothers character, Michigan J. Frog. Yes, his name is Michigan. The first shows on the WB was, as always, black sitcoms. I'm actually going to link in the iCard in the top right corner and in the description a better video about stuff like that. Anyway, the first few shows on WB was The Wayans Bros, Unhappily Ever After, a show from Ron Levitt, the co-creator of Married with Children, The Parenthood, and the ABC show Sister Sister after it was canceled by the Disney-owned network. They also added more programming for Sundays, including Kirk, starring Kirk Cameron, and a nighttime soap opera, Savannah, but these shows did not garner attention. In September 1995, the WB launched Kids WB, featuring shows originating on Fox Kids or syndication of other shows. For the 96-97 TV season was expanded to add Seventh Heaven, a show about a reverend, the Steve Harvey Show about a funk musician being a teacher at an inner-city school in Chicago, and the Jamie Foxx Show, where Fox plays an aspiring singer/actor while working as Aunt and Uncle's Hotel in L.A. In 1997, the WB released a show called Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I just learned while writing this is based on a 1992 movie of the same name. I might review that at some point. Buffy was the first of a new crop of shows on the channel. WB, seeing viewership go younger with Buffy, made a pivot and needed more teenage shows. Fox used to be the place for teens, but WB is going to make it for them in the future. In January '98, the WB debuted Dawson's Creek, which was a major hit. During this time, they also launched New Tuesdays. They added a college drama called Felicity and Charmed, a Wicca-themed show. Charmed had 7.7 million viewers on its premiere, the highest viewership on the channel until the DC show Smallville premiered, but we'll get to that. The WB finished their expansion for Friday nights, which included Roswell, Popular, and the Buffy spinoff Angel. The WB was the only network to have gains in total viewership in every key demo. As all networks have to go through, the teen boom waned, and they had to broaden their content. Buffy, Seventh Heaven, and Charmed had great ratings for a while, but Dawson's Creek and Felicity's ratings have dropped. They needed a new strategy as the teen market is oversaturated and needs more family-oriented shows. This would be the beginning for another hit show for them called Gilmore Girls, which debuted in 2000. In the fall of 2000, another show based on a comic book debuted, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which became another hit for WB, moving from ABC and continued until 2003. Let's get into some business talks. After the Turner buyout by AOL Time Warner, the WB was taken from Warner and given to Turner Broadcasting to oversee. Jamie Kellner, who wrestling fans will all know as the guy who wanted to end WCW in 2001, sold his stake in the WB to the parent company AOL Time Warner on November 12, 2002. After he left Turner, AOL gave the WB back to Warner in 2003. In October 2001, the WB had another hit show. Another show based on a comic book, The Life of a Young Superman, called Smallville. Smallville is still very popular, and I've been told to watch it as I am a huge DC fan. This is, in my opinion, the beginning of the Arrowverse. 2001 also saw another show debut, country star Reba McEntire's self-titled show, Reba. Reba and Sabrina were linchpins of a brand new Friday block that debuted in October of 2001, after being delayed due to the September 11th attacks. Everwood and Grosse Pointe debuted during this era as well. The WB could not shift its focus very well from the 12 to 24 demo they catered for the last decade at this point. They wanted to add more dramas and adult-focused comedies to add to the demo. In 2005, they retired Michigan J. Frog, saying, quote, "Michigan was not a symbol that perpetrated the young teen feel of the network. That's not the image we now want to put to our audience." The WB added 3 more shows from 03 to 05, the teen-oriented One Tree Hill, a social experiment reality competition show called Beauty and the Geek, and the massively popular Supernatural. These 3 shows will move to the CW of the rebrand. Dawson's Creek ended in 03 due to a decrease in ratings, as did Angel. They could not replace these shows. Although the network could not produce successful comedies besides Reba, Reba was completely an anomaly. They did also struggle in the drama area in the last couple of years of the WB. They debuted these shows: Birds of Prey, another comic book show, a live-action Tarzan show, a political drama called Jack and Bobby based on the lives of John F. Kennedy and Robert F. Kennedy, The Mountain, a Jerry Bruckheimer legal drama called Just Legal, a Marta Kaufman dramedy called Related, and another dramedy called Dennis Pepper starring Rebecca Romaine. None of these shows would be lucky enough to move to the CW. During the 04-05 TV season, the WB finished behind UPN for the first time in 4 years. And in 05, they finished both behind Univision, a Spanish language channel, in the 18 to 34 demo. They were losing money and laid off 40 employees. CBS and Warner Brothers announced their plans to shut down UPN and the WB and add some series from both networks on a new network called the CW. 7 series from the WB that will continue on the new network would be Seventh Heaven, Beauty and the Geek, Gilmore Girls, One Tree Hill, Reba, Smallville, and Supernatural. Series from the UPN would be America's Next Top Model, Veronica Mars, Everybody Hates Chris, Girlfriends, All of Us, and WWE SmackDown. The CW used scheduling model that the WB used, as it had more base programming. The WB had 30 hours of programming a week, as they added a children's block and daytime shows that UPN did not offer, as UPN only had 10 hours a week since they were just daytime programming. The CW launched with a special on Entertainment Tonight produced by CBS and filmed at Warner Brothers Studios in Burbank on September 18, 2006. The CW decided to re-air finales for most of the series last season for the first week, except for America's Next Top Model, which actually premiered their season premiere on September 20th, and WWE SmackDown on September 22nd. Both of these had 2-hour premieres. The network's second week, which started on September 25th, aired most of the season premieres from the other shows, except for Veronica Mars, whose season premiere was on October 3rd. In its first 5 years, the CW could not gain attention, and during the 2006 writer's strike, they closed their comedy department and dismissed the president of comedy and vice president of comedy. They also laid off up to 30 employees and replaced Kids WB with CW4 Kids block. In 2008, the CW decided to make a change to their Sunday lineup by renting out their 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. slot to the Media Rights Capital Production Company. MRC would produce their own shows and reap the benefits of advertising, while the CW could focus on their Monday to Friday programming. MRC had 4 brand new shows, such as 2 reality series called For Real and In Harm's Way, a romantic dramedy Valentine, and a new drama called Easy Money. This block performed so poorly that CW ended their agreement with MRC by November of 2008, and this will allow the CW to program Sundays on their own again. They use reruns of The Drew Carey Show, Jericho, and movies to replace the MRC-produced shows. WWE SmackDown, one of the shows that UPN had, ended its run on September 26, 2008, after negotiations fell through. The CW decided to not keep the program as they wanted to attract the 18 to 34 female demo, where SmackDown was geared more towards men and teenage boys. SmackDown got added to the Fox-owned My Network TV, and My Network TV began beating the CW in ratings around this time. The CW lost on Fridays, but overall was seeing more viewers than My Network TV. It was speculated that because the CW was ranking 5th and being outdone by Spanish-language channel Univision, Time Warner, or CBS would pull out of the project. But this was alleviated once the channel began ranking in the views with new shows like 90210, Gossip Girl, and Vampire Diaries. On May 5, 2009, the CW decided to give the Sunday blocks back to the affiliates, and 65 of those inherited affiliates agreed to show the MGM Showcase on Sundays. On April 28, 2011, the president of entertainment, Dawn Ostrov, was succeeded by new president Mark Pedowitz. In July 2012, Pedowitz said the CW is not a woman-focused network, but a family-oriented network. The network had not been profitable, but they made money by selling their shows and made $1 billion with Netflix. This was before the streaming service was what it is today. In 2012, Arrow was introduced to the CW and became another hit for the network. Whose Line Is It Anyway was revived on the CW in 2013 and became another hit. With its success of Arrow continuing, Flash premiered in 2014, became another hit. The same month, Flash premiered, so did another show, based on the Virgin Mary called Jane the Virgin. Jane became such a hit, it was the first CW show to win a Golden Globe, with Gina Rodriguez winning Best Actress in a Musical or a Comedy Series. The Arrowverse expanded in 2016 and included a new show called Legend of Tomorrow with more DC characters. Also debuting in 2016 was Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Crazy Ex-Girlfriend won a Golden Globe. Rachel Bloom won the same award Gina Rodriguez won a couple years earlier. Arrowverse expanded again with Batgirl and Black Lightning, while a show based on the Archie comic series called Riverdale and a reboot of the 80s soap Dynasty. On June 12, 2018, AT&T got approval to acquire Time Warner and renamed it Warner Media, so AT&T became the new co-owners of the CW. The CW rebooted Charmed, Roswell, with a spin-off of originals called Legacies. In 2019 and 2020, the CW debuted Batwoman, Riverdale spin-off Katie Keene, and Nancy Drew. On August 13, 2019, Viacom and CBS announced they would re-merge with the new company called Viacom-CBS. This means Warner Media and Viacom-CBS are now the co-owners, and they did not renew the Netflix deal in 2019. HBO Max retained rights to their shows made by Warner Media. Batwoman and Katie Keene debuted on HBO Max after their last season aired on the CW, and the CBS-produced Nancy Drew was going to be in CBS All Access, but it debuted on HBO Max because All Access was being rebranded to Paramount+. HBO Max shares 50-50 ownership with the CW, so the first show with this partnership is Stargirl. Stargirl was released on DC Universe first and then premiered on the CW. This ended after the DC Universe was folded into HBO Max and flipped it. After it premiered on the CW, it was added to HBO Max. On May 13, 2021, the CW announced it would program Saturday nights following approval from the affiliates. They ended the CW daytime block and returned that to the affiliates. Adding Saturday programming, the CW became the 6th American English commercial broadcast channel, and the first since Fox to have ordered primetime content nightly. On January 5th, 2022, the Wall Street Journal reported that Warner and Viacom were looking to sell a piece or the whole of the CW network. The CW used to be owned by Tribune Broadcasting, which was bought by Nexstar Media Group, and Nexstar was a leading bidder to buy the network. Nexstar CEO did not confirm they were buying CW, but did say he wasn't surprised if they did buy them out. Before the buyout became official, the CW canceled 10 shows. They canceled the one-season shows 4400 and Naomi. They also canceled Dynasty, Legend of Tomorrow, Roswell, New Mexico, and Legacies. Some other shows were given final season orders like Nancy Drew, Stargirl, The Flash, and Riverdale. In late June 2022, Nexstar was announced as obtaining the network, with 75% of the network being owned by Nexstar, while 25% will continue to be owned by Paramount Global and Warner Bros. Discovery. Nexstar did not pay any money up front, but did absorb the $100 million in debt and retain their $54 million on hand. According to Nexstar, the CW spent double the amount of any other network, and this is why the network cancels some of their most expensive shows. They want to make shows with smaller budgets, which could include things like sitcoms and police procedurals. They also want the CW to turn a profit in 2025. We'll see how that works, since I'm recording this in 2025, so I don't actually know if they did. They want to make it a broad appeal network. In September 2022, the network said they would acquire other projects outside of Warner Bros. Discovery and Paramount Global. On October 3rd, Nexstar officially closed on their deal to acquire the CW for 40 people, including the CEO and other execs, got laid off by November 1st. On November 8th, Nexstar announced that Paramount and Warner Brothers carryover programming is going to be minimal for the 2023-2024 television season. On February 1st, 2023, Heather Orlander was appointed to the head of unscripted programming. In May, the CW released their 2023-2024 TV schedule, which added more unscripted shows, foreign shows, and shows rejected for Paramount and Warner Brothers, but okay for the CW. Brad Schwartz, president of entertainment, criticized the former ownership, saying, "We will not exist to benefit them. They bought the rights to multiple sports leagues like Live Golf, owned by the Saudi government, the ACC for college football and basketball, inside the NFL, the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and WWE's developmental brand NXT." In January of 2024, during the Critics' Choice Awards, the CW unveiled their new logo, turning it from green to an orange-red, taking off "the" and making the sound a match strike. They would also kill Superman and Lois, All-American Homecoming, and Walker, with All-American being the only pre-Nexstar show still on the channel. They pulled The Librarian's Next Chapter and sold it to TNT. Brad Schwartz was promoted to president in late 2024. In November, Nexstar reported that the CW had reduced its operating costs by $119 million. Mike Byard, president and COO of Nexstar, announced that sports would account for 40% of programming in 2025 and that the network will become profitable in 2026. By the end of the 2024-2025 fiscal year, the network reduced its year-over-year losses by $126 million, hopefully making Byard's claim true. In June of 2025, the network announced they would adapt the book series Harlequin. The first movie in the series should release on the CW. The first movie is Montana Mavericks, but I can't find a rating on IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes. I might do a review of it. Who knows? There's some extra stuff. I wasn't sure exactly where to put it, so here it is in other stuff. There is a CW VOD or video on demand. You can access this on CWTV.com or its mobile apps, Netflix, Hulu. A lot of the VOD stuff is like how Hulu operates with Disney products, where it will air on TV and then the next day it will be on demand. The CW moved to HD 1080p, where the other networks did in the late aughts and early 10s. There are some over-the-air feeds and stuff that are still 16:9 and 480p, so like potatoes. Some other broadcasts in 720p. It really depends on where you are, how close to a tower you are. CW Seed, or the CW Digital Studio, is a production arm that creates original content exclusively for digital platforms, like game shows, animation, comedy, and quote-unquote digital personalities. Not sure what the last one means completely, probably like YouTubers and stuff. CW Speed was spun off as its own streaming platform and is free on Roku and Amazon Fire. CW Seed produced multiple web series like Vixen, Freedom Fighters, The Ray, and DC Comics show Constantine Sitting of Dreams. The CW Seed app and website was absorbed back into the CW fold as of September 2022. Wow, that was a lot. I hope you liked it. Sort of a sequel, like I said. Lots of history of two TV channels. Comment below what TV channel history you would like to check. You'd like me to do next. Check out the playlist for more. I did one on Freeform and Fuse. I'll see you next time for more history. What history? Who knows? We'll see. But anyway, thank you everybody for watching. Have a good day.